And welcome into the grand final of this, the Unsquashable Premier League, and a bit of a special guest all the way from the UK, where it is about 5 to 7 in the morning, something like that. Luamba Chileshe, say good day because you're talking to some of your fans back here in New Zealand and around the world.
Hello everyone. Hope everyone's enjoying the live squash right now. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the final.
All right, well, great to have you, Louis. And you haven't really been able to get on a squash court yourself for quite a while, have you?
Yeah, it's been too long, eh? Yeah.
So,
unfortunately.
What's the situation for you in Manchester? When do you think you'll be able to get on the court?
It's a tough one to say. I think I'm hoping that we'll be able to, the squash clubs will be open to at least the pros by July. I think that's probably the earliest that I'm going to be able to hit. I think I'm looking to get some tournaments running in August. There's talks of that, so hopefully that ends up going ahead as well. If all goes well, hopefully we'll be back by July, early August, which is still a while away from now.
Yeah, my goodness.
It's quite bizarre over here. Yeah, we've been hit quite hard, obviously. So everything's locked down. Still at level 4 over here, so it's quite tough.
All right, well, these two players on court here at Squash XL getting underway, and Joel ARSCOTT, as we've seen, a ranking of 235 in the world, and TEMWA CHILESHE, your brother, 337. When was the last time you actually managed to have a hit with your brother?
Almost half a year ago. It's been a while. We had a pretty good way, ended up coming to the UK, which I think Joel ended up winning. So I played TEMWA a couple of times that week. Also played Joel a couple of times as well. It's going to be interesting game.
Well, if people are wondering who we're talking to, it is Luamba Chileshe. He is ranked 160 in the world at the moment and based up in the UK, but not really been able to do anything, unlike his brother who was on court, TEMWA, who has got a couple of points on Joel ARSCOTT in this, the grand final of the Unsquashable Premier League. And great to have Louis join us. Back with him in just a moment. And feel free to send through any comments, folks. We had some great comments today, certainly on the refereeing and also on some of the performances and whether things are lit or not. And people telling us about their clubs being open, and Western Australia about to open tomorrow. And also 150 people were saying, oh, sorry, you 150 at the moment, Louis, or 160?
Yeah, 150.
150. There you go. I took you down 10 places. Sorry about that, mate.
It's all the same, really.
Exactly. Now, someone here is... who was the highest ranked player that you've played, Luamba? Can you recall that?
Highest ranked player was Chris Gordon, who was ranked 67 in the world at the time, I think. And that was actually my most recent match. That was a very good experience.
Because you had your first opportunity at the World Champs last year, didn't you? There were the team of Paul Cole, Campbell Grayson, Evan Williams and yourself, and you must have enjoyed that experience.
Yeah, that was really good. Yeah. So that was over in Washington, DC. It was good. Being the youngest in the team, quite enjoyed it. Being amongst some of the best players in the world, Paul Cole in my team as well, so it was great.
moment, your younger brother has a decent lead in this, the first game. And it's just going very well, started very well. Yesterday, though, he didn't have a very good start at all against Anthony Lepper in the semi-finals, whereas Joel ARSCOTT did have the good start. And
yeah, I think TEMWA also had a poor start against Leo, didn't they, on that first day?
exactly. So you've been able to watch a bit of these matches from where you've been, even though they haven't quite worked out brilliantly time zone-wise, but you've been able to watch a little bit?
Yeah, been out watching. The first day I just watched the replays on YouTube, and then I was up yesterday morning watching TEMWA versus Anthony. Yeah, I think it's good, like, when you haven't been able to watch any kind of recent content, it gets kind of boring, so it's good to have, like, no matter who's playing, it's good to have some fresh content, you know, some live watch after a while. I found myself tuning into some of the archives of Squash TV, watching some big matches, early 2000s matches and stuff.
I'll ask you in the break very shortly about those changes in the matches from watching 2000 to watching 2020. Nice touch there by Joel. Let's see. Anybody out there, if they agree or disagree, don't worry. We've had a few people been making comments about the refereeing throughout the day, and I think there's some very good referees out there on the internet and watching online. Feel free to actually give us your opinions. And we'll come back to you, Louis, in just a moment. And after a big lead of TEMWA CHILESHE, well, it's Joel ARSCOTT coming back a little bit more. Ooh, powerful shot to start with. And there we go, takes the first game. And back into this, the grand final of the Unsquashable Premier League between Joel ARSCOTT, who is in the green shirt, against TEMWA CHILESHE, who is the orange shirt. CHILESHE taking that first game 11-4, just when it raced out to an early lead. In fact, 10 points in a row, or thereabouts anyway, and joined by TEMWA's brother and also fellow pro up in the UK, Luamba. And Luamba, what did you see in that first game? I mean, it went pretty quick.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. Normally, as you said, this week with the tournament, Joel's been getting some good starts and TEMWA hasn't been starting well, but it seems to be the opposite here. I think Joel was just a bit surprised maybe with the intensity that TEMWA's brought. Maybe he was expecting TEMWA to start slow today. And he hasn't. He's done the opposite. So I think Joel just needs to get into a rhythm here, and just kind of find his way, feel his way back into the match. Until he gets too far ahead again.
I think you'd have to agree, Louis, that both players don't give up. And just because they've lost the first game, they really could come back. It's not I'm down, I'm going to let it go. Both of them are very good at coming back into matches, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I think that's just kind of the environment that they train in. I think a lot of most New Zealanders are like that as well. Like, you'd find a lot through all the juniors, most of them are pretty good at not giving up, so...
Well, folks, for those of you who are listening in around the world, we're also online with Luamba CHILESHE, and he's not quite with us. We're in Auckland, he's in Manchester, And these matches have been played at Squash XL, and it is the final of the first week of the Unsquashable Premier League. Luamba, I bet you wished you were here so you could actually play this match, don't you?
yeah. I do wish I was at home right now. Can't say that I'd be in the final, but...
Oh. You've got to give yourself a bit of credit. And another thing, have you seen what Paul Cole's been putting out online of all of his fitness exercises, etc.? He's challenged you a couple of times.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some of the stuff he's been posting. Yeah, I think it's, I saw one of the workouts he posted for the Sky Sport Home Advantage, which is really good. But I think he's definitely one of the players you want to be watching. Doing that sort of stuff, because I think he's got quite the knowledge with, how the body works, and I think having that knowledge is quite key in this situation, in terms of being able to come up with some good circuits and some exercise, especially squash specific. So if anyone's struggling with some workouts, some home circuits, definitely go check out Paul Cole. He's got a few online. I think he's got a few on his Instagram, and it's on YouTube as well. So it's definitely someone you will be looking out for during this time. So yeah.
Well, Luamba Chileshe, we'll come back to you in just a moment as we continue with this, the second game of the grand final. And just as we say continue, he wraps it up. TEMWA CHILESHE wraps up that second game, and 2 games to love up. And back into the third game. It is a couple of games, the first 2 to TEMWA CHILESHE. And as we enter the third, Joel ARSCOTT's got the first couple of points. TEMWA had a messy semi-final yesterday against Anthony Lepper, whereas Joel ARSCOTT's was a little bit more of a constructive match and a constructive win. But so far in this match, TEMWA looking pretty good. He's got the first 2. And let's see what's happening here in New Zealand. We have had the courts open. All squash courts are allowed to open in New Zealand a couple of days ago. And you're allowed to have competitive play, as long as the gatherings are kept to a minimum. Around about 10 is the maximum. Right, well, into the middle parts of the third game with TEMWA CHILESHE winning the first 2 and joined by Luamba Chileshe, who is in Manchester. And Luamba, we've still got you there. You're having your morning coffee?
Yeah, just finished morning coffee.
Good stuff.
So yeah, wide awake now.
All right, good stuff. And watching live, you've been impressed by your brother so far, where he's managed to keep things efficient in the first two games, although this third one a little bit tighter so far.
Yeah, he's done well this game with this map, so I definitely think Joel's been caught by surprise a little bit based off TEMWA's last two matches having bad starts. So it's going to be interesting to see how he adapts.
Not too many unforced errors from TEMWA so far in this match. And a good all-court rally this one, and well played there from Joel ARSCOTT.
I'm going to take credit for TEMWA's performance here. Because I was scolding him yesterday for his high boast every second shot. Haven't really seen anything so far, so I think it was my coaching yesterday after his match against Anthony.
Yep, okay, so you've been there, done that. Well, he has given you a bit of credit a couple of days ago. He said it was great growing up and seeing you play. And I think now he just wants to beat you.
That's generally the case with the brother rivalry. So him being a bit younger. We had a few battles back in our junior days. And he is ready to come back and try and get the win against me.
All right, well, Luamba Chileshe, Louis, in the UK and Manchester, back with you in just a moment. We'll let you continue and get a few more gulps of your coffee for just a few moments as this match continues. A slight difference here in the third game. Nice touch there by Joel ARSCOTT. And just upped his tempo a little bit. TEMWA making a couple of errors and Joel forcing the errors. And TEMWA, of course, taking out the first two games. We've been speaking to his brother, Luamba Chileshe, on the phone from Manchester. It's now 8-7 to Joel ARSCOTT, and this the third game. These two players do live on site here at Squash XL, and now in the grand final, and shaping up to a big winner, but nice skills. So finally, Joel ARSCOTT does have the advantage here where he can see what he can do with it. He's got the 2-point buffer, up 9-7. Feel free to make any comments on the performance from the players, but it's been good listening in and hearing from Luamba Chileshe as well. So 10-7 at his game point, back with Luamba Chileshe in just a moment. We'll see whether Joel ARSCOTT can wrap up this game and take it into a fourth. In fact, he can. Not quite there, actually. A little bit a step ahead. He had the advantage there, his first game ball, but a stroke couldn't quite get out of the way of that one in time. And if we have any thoughts there for anybody watching, we don't mind you having some thoughts on the refereeing and whether shots are a let or a stroke. We're happy for that. We'll be hearing from Luamba very shortly. And so far, Joel ARSCOTT has had a couple of advantages, a couple of balls to win the game.
To just get some tournaments and just hope that there's some tournaments on and play as many as I can. It's going to be interesting to see where the tournaments are based and if I'm going to be able to get there. I see there's a few tournaments in Australia towards the end of the year which I might end up going to, so that would be quite cool. Obviously it depends on and stuff, but
Well,
I'll just be happy to get back into the squash scene, get back on the tour and play some tournament.
Well, it's one of those things that international travel, whether it's for a sport like squash or tennis, is just going to be so difficult getting in and out of a country, let alone on the court and actually playing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm hoping there's going to be a few good tournaments over here in England.
Well, at the moment, Louis, you're pretty good at multitasking, aren't you? You're able to type a comment, talk to me, and hold the phone all at the one time, so well done, and drink coffee. That's pretty good multitasking. You're learning that quite well.
Yeah, learned that from my mum. Shout out to Helen.
Good stuff. All right, well, let's have a look at this fourth game. And what do the players need to do? What does TEMWA need to do to actually take out this fourth game?
Well, it looks like he's got quite a good start. I think he just needs to stay solid and stay on top of the rally. Try and show Joel that he's not backing down. And I think it's gonna be interesting to see if Joel can come back from this. As we saw in the last game, he was a bit more fired up and a bit more up his intensity a little bit, but he seems to have dropped back into his shell and he's kind of letting TEMWA dominate the tee and get in front. So yeah, for TEMWA just needs to stay in front, just keep doing what he's doing, not give Joel anything, just build off his lead.
And nice touch there, just changing the pace in this particular rally. And Heather Finlay just saying, let's just get on. For you, Luamba, age 23, is that correct? And a viewer said that you're 23 years old. Is that correct?
No, I'm 21 years old currently.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Well, it's been quite interesting because this tournament, the older...
I think he was talking about right. Yeah.
Right, yep.
So, yeah. 23.
Just letting the players discuss with the umpire, with the referee, how they feel, as a good, solid lead to TEMWA CHILESHE. We'll come back to you in just a moment, Luamba, and maybe near the end of this match, well, maybe going into a fifth. We'll come back to you in just a moment. we're at 1-8 at the moment. Another big lead that TEMWA CHILESHE was able to get out to. And a few disputed calls, but I guess that happens when you're down and you're trying to force your way back into the match. Oh, and the error there. So 2-8. And both of these players live on site. Nice play forward there. That is something that Joel loves to do. Don't forget, these players both have PSA rankings. Nice touch. Good recovery. And remembering that Joel ARSCOTT does have a PSA ranking of 235. TEMWA CHILESHE 337, winning his first satellite tournament earlier this year. That was at Eden Epsom in Auckland, the PSA satellite there. And a mini comeback so far for Joel ARSCOTT, back to a 4-8. We've had 3 previous exciting games so far today. So TEMWA CHILESHE just 2 points away from a win. And in fact, 1 point. And Luwamba CHILESHE, it's got to be good for both these players, but they must know what's going to happen each time a player is ready for a shot. They're just so used to each other, aren't they? There you go. Congratulations there to TEMWA CHILESHE. And Luwamba, you with me in the UK in Manchester? Your brother taking out this first tournament, and good news for him there.
Yeah, it was good. I think you should be happy with that. He obviously made a few improvements from his last 2 matches. And Joel just didn't really have the intensity there at the right time. But I'm sure these guys will have a few more battles in the weeks to come. It's good to see the little bro taking it out. So well